Move over, kids. How are you today? It is the Saturday podcast. We've got William, we've got Devin, and if you just saw Mark Jack, actually, I was just about to introduce him, and he's gone now, but he has a cool background, people. Look at that. Oh, there he is. He is back. That is Mark Jack. I'm trying to click on him. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Wave to the audience. I love to do like blind, like, hey, I invite people on and I just put them and we see about. Oh, hang on a second. I think I can hear myself.
That was my fault, Ken.
Oh, that was not my fault. Technical difficulty, not my fault. Wow, that is a specialty, a rarity. Anyways, Mark Jack is joining us today. We will get into a little self-promotion on his part a little later in the show. I'll tell you right now, he does have a YouTube channel. I can't endorse it necessarily because I have not really watched a lot of his videos. However, it is there. He does produce a lot of content. I maybe check it out and you can be the judge yourself. I know he's just at that cusp of getting 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. Him and we're on opposite spectrums, actually. I have 1,300 subscribers, but I don't have the hours. He has the hours, but not the subscribers. So do me a favor. I'm not endorsing his channel, but do me a favor and check it out and see if it is for you. And then we've got David as well. So
and then we can endorse it.
Then we can endorse it. Yeah. So maybe you guys watch it and we'll see. Though we'll talk about Mark Jack stuff later, but I want to talk about the Nintendo Direct, the impending Nintendo Direct. Now, I don't want to be hypocritical because in the past I have made fun of YouTubers who talk about the Nintendo Directs and then they have a live stream of the Nintendo Direct, then they have a reaction to the Nintendo Direct, then they have a why they were wrong about the Nintendo Direct video. So maybe it's like, well, now aren't you doing that? Well, I guess, kind of, sort of, but I do think that a lot of people want to talk about it because I was having a live stream last night and people were talking about it. So I was like, okay, well, people want to talk about it. We'll talk about it on the podcast. It's a little different. Here's just kind of about news. Mark, one last thing I didn't tell you. I forgot. We don't do spoilers on this either, or leaks. So if there's like a hardcore data mined that happened, we don't talk about that. But rumors and stuff like, oh, there might be a Nintendo Direct and maybe Mario Maker 2. That's fair game. But there was a hacker who hacked into Miyamoto's email that we won't talk about. Does that all make sense? So, guys, let's get right into it. We'll start with Mark. What are your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct? That's me. That one's me. There you go. That's the technical thing. It's my phone. You guys talk.
You're on me now? Yeah, man. Like I said, I think it's definitely the most disappointing aspect for me is still the delay of Metroid Prime 4. I think that's obviously probably the one that we're all most interested in. But definitely 50% of me is sad about it. But then the other 50% to it though, because I think the best Nintendo games for sure have always gotten delayed. Specifically, I know Skyward Sword got delayed from its original release date. I'm pretty sure Twilight Princess got delayed a couple of times from its original release date. So definitely, as much as I loved the original Metroid Prime trilogy, I can only expect that this delay will hopefully bring it to the forefront of being one of the best games of hopefully 2020 or 2021.
I think it would be kind of interesting if they went and said, hey guys, you want to see what didn't make the cut? No, let's see the footage of what you're not getting.
That is something Nintendo will not do unless
I know, that would be
unless 30 years from now we get a Nintendo Switch Classic.
Yeah.
But that would be awesome. Or somebody finds it, like that. That would be a mega grail if there's like one copy out there on a disc or something, because there are like a lot of Switch collectors. Like, I haven't seen this many collectors on a system. I've seen Wii U collectors, I've seen Wii collectors, but I've not seen like a current console collecting machine like this in a very long time, if ever. Because, I mean, a lot of times, like people like us, we went back and started collecting, and then there was a retro scene. But this is like current stuff, and people are just like clamoring for the rarities.
Yeah, Mark, what type of collecting do you do?
Man, I collect a range to like everything. So definitely the biggest thing for me is when it comes to Nintendo related stuff, I'm definitely hugely into the world of Nintendo line. All of the figures, a lot of the mini figures, a lot of the display. Like probably one of my biggest videos is when I did the review of the Princess Peach's castle display. That like I've got Master Swords, I got Mario hats, I got coins, cards.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging the background there.
The shield is lit, dude. I like that.
The world of Nintendo stuff. Those, if you guys don't know, they're like 4-inch figures, very high detailed. I'm actually, funny you mention it, Mark. I'm gonna do a video on that this week or next week. I have a guy, Tommy Atkins. He sometimes watches the podcast. So if you're watching right now, shout out to you, dude. He is like, to me, an expert on world of Nintendo, and they're just really high quality figures. You could probably see some in that mess back there. I don't know.
Yeah, this is my only world of Nintendo figure.
Oh,
they made it. Yeah. They made that.
Yes, they made one.
Jack Specific has made a ton of Mario ones. They were dabbling in everyone, like from Splatoon kids to Fox, but now it seems like they've centered and honed in on Mario.
Yeah, and you know what? I was actually kind of disappointed in that because I was really hoping because they released a Breath of the Wild Link. You know, I was hoping for like Breath of the Wild Zelda.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
The Champions. You know, we got a deluxe Metroid a couple of years back too. I was really hoping for maybe like deluxe, you know, Calamity Ganon. That would have been awesome.
That would. I don't even know how they would do that since he's like mostly spoke, but that would be cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. If they made the Champions, I feel like he would be like a ton.
They have like 6-inch figures too, so he could have been a 6-inch figure maybe.
Valid point. But I'm just judging, like, I don't know if you guys ever seen the Marvel Legends and like the Marvel Selects figures. Anytime they make one of the Hulk, it weighs like a small baby.
But don't they like kind of split up the figures? Like here's his arm, here's his leg, and stuff like that.
Those are the Build-A-Figures, but there is some that come as one solid piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Marvel Legends collector myself too. Definitely when it comes to the MCU, I'm definitely hugely into that. So pretty much all of the Marvel Legends MCU figures I have as well. And some of them are really, really good quality too.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
I've only ever had one of the World of Nintendos myself.
I'm gonna say it. Kids these days, they don't understand what we had to deal with. The toys that we had to deal with. The only better toys that we had than the kids these days were we had metal Transformers. That's it. That's the only thing that we had cooler than kids.
The battle beasts, those were cool.
Dude, all toys that we had back when our kid age were awesome. I still have the Street Sharks and stuff like that.
I haven't heard from David. David, how you doing over there, buddy?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah, Mike's going. And then then Mark, you go ahead. Sorry. After that.
I'm just listening. I want my coffee.
You don't have it? David's mom sometimes watches. Actually, she always watches. David's mom, if you're watching, could you make David a cup of coffee, please? I have to look at the chat. I haven't looked at it yet. I just got everything going. We have Dan Crow. Dan Crow was the MVP last night of, I believe, it was either him or Paradox. They were the MVPs of this Friday night fight. And I actually won my first game in 2 weeks. So I was like, I probably celebrated like more than I should have. But Moto Bear, what's up? We're talking, I want to get back to that Nintendo Direct. Anything? So has anyone heard the rumors about it, or do you want me to say the rumors, then I can get some of your feedback on it? David,
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, David, have you heard anything?
Just probably what everyone's heard of. Just a couple things like Mario Maker 2. and Pikmin 4, and that it would happen this coming week. But that's really all I've heard of it.
Yeah, I guess the quote unquote news broke that it's going to be day before Valentine's Day, which is Wednesday, and I guess it's coming from a quote-unquote reliable source who just posted the number 13 or something, and then everybody just started like, ooh, it's a jump to conclusion board, and they started playing, and it's like, I don't know. But I will say this. From the rumors that I heard, I did a video last week about unannounced Nintendo games, and I'm not, no joke, you can watch it. I called everything in the rumor, with the exception of a Pikmin 3 port. Because they're talking about Mario Maker 2, they're talking about Pikmin 4. They said maybe a Pikmin 3 port. And what else did they say? It was other thing. I don't know, but you look at the rumors and then look at my video, and I'm not even joking. I called it, and it's not because I have I'm not the source, right? I'm not the person leaking this stuff. I'm definitely not. I'm just kind of guessing based on what's there. But wouldn't a Mario Maker 2 just be insane right now? Would that be would that be the Mario game that we need for 2019?
I agree. It would probably be awesome, but I want to know how they would work it, because I think it works so well because of the stylus on the Wii U.
That's my question too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would work, but people like me, I get really, really antsy with touching my screen. Mm-hmm. I can't stand it, so I would hope they would figure out a way to make that work.
Unfortunately, I think it's just going to be a kind of a Minecraft situation where this is one of the times where the Wii U is just going to be superior over the Switch. Just like, in my opinion, Splatoon number 1 is superior over Splatoon number 2 for the mere fact that for two reasons. When you jump, you can click on who you want to jump. It's really quick, as opposed to, kind of toggling over a character. And then the second reason I believe Splatoon is better than the second one is you can look at the map at any time to see where is been covered the most in ink, and it's very it's just big in your face. You don't have to kind of squint to look in the corner to all this stuff. And I think with Mario Maker, it's just going to be a situation where they might allow that touchscreen and handheld, but when it's docked, there's just no option other than having to kind of toggle around and drag stuff and place it there. And it's just
I think I know how they could do it.
How?
Make it so you can attach the 3DS.
Dude,
they did something. They were doing something similar. Sony was doing that with I think it was the Vita or the PSP, where they wanted to use that as a second screen for in racing games, have that as your rearview mirror, stuff like that. They could have it so you connect wirelessly with the 3DS and just use that.
People would cry though.
No, but I would actually.
I gotta buy a 3DS.
Yeah, people will do that. Yes,
but think about it, dude.
Don't you have one already? So
the 3DS is one of their best selling handhelds ever. So I mean, most of the time people have one. I have 3. Ken, I'm pretty sure you have more than that.
No comment.
I think we have 4 of them here.
So I'm pretty sure actually that would be pretty cool, because I miss the days of being able to hook up the Game Boy and do stuff that you wouldn't be able to do normally. So I think that'd be pretty cool, actually.
I think it could work.
Mark, what are your thoughts on Mario Maker 2?
I tell you what, in my dream of dream worlds, I would love to see somehow. I mean, it's highly doubtful, but if they could somehow bring, a Super Mario 64 template into it,
that could be cool.
Mario Maker 64? No way.
I know it's unlikely.
Keep dreaming, buddy.
That would be neat.
Don't wake up though, because I want to live in that dream world right there, because that sounds cool.
I kind of want a Lolo Maker.
Adventure of Lolo?
Yeah.
While we're at it, give me that Zelda Maker. All right, we can do this one.
Getting ready to say that too. I would still love to see a Zelda Maker too. Definitely.
There's a trailer out there that kind of went viral of Zelda Maker, and people happened right after. It's not mine, but I don't even know the link or whatever. But yeah, and people were starting to get hyped about it. David, would you prefer What do you think? How would they do the Mario Maker 2? Also, Mark, if you're able to turn up your microphone, that would help a little. David, what do you feel about Mario Maker coming? Would you be pumped? You're the platformer here.
Yeah, I would definitely be hyped if they. The logical choice, I think, is to introduce Super Mario Brothers 2 template, adding it to the lineup.
Don't you mean Doki Doki Panic?
Right. Yeah, that would be pretty. That'd be neat. I mean, I love Mario Maker. I like the concept behind it. I really like the cover of it, and I like the fact that Builder Mario came out of it for Smash.
Builder Mario.
When Mario Maker first came out, I always thought that would be a really cool alternative costume for Mario, and it happened. But I didn't really play much of it. I mean, I would play. There were some personalities on YouTube that would post their levels, and you go and play their levels. And I did that for a good 2-3 months, and then I haven't touched it since. But I'm all for a Mario Maker 2. I just don't know what they would do and how they would implement fluidity and a user-friendly experience.
Yeah, I see Mario Maker 2 kind of being like Smash Brothers Ultimate. If you really look at Smash Brothers Ultimate, there's a lot of elements of the Wii U version, but it's just like better, like on like every sense with the, you know, and more characters as well. But it just seems like and I'm not saying this as like to make fun of Smash Brothers Wii U or Ultimate. I think the Ultimate's the best version thus far, but it's just like, I think that's what they would do with Mario Maker, because Mario Maker was such a complete game. You know, it's like, how do you really add to it? And I think the Mario 2 template would be a really good way of adding some extra flavor to it. You know, you add the Peachette for Toadette crown, but that might create more problems for Nintendo than it's worth. Maybe you could like pick some of the bad guys to play, like Boo and stuff, and of course not Waluigi, because you know we gotta exclude him from everything. Who would you like to play? What bad guy would you like to play as the protagonist in Mario, Devin?
The Koopa Kids.
You'd want to be the Koopa Kids?
Any of them. I've always liked the Koopa Kids.
How about you, Mark? If you could be one bad guy to play?
Hammer Brothers.
Hammer Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Hammer Bros. Yeah, I agree that one too.
William, who's your main bad guy to play? Boo, right? Boo, has to be Boo.
Well, kind of goes with the Koopa Kids because of the costumes in Smash, but Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr. All right, Bowser Jr. versus his dad for control of the Bowser Kingdom. That's a game, you know, that could be like a Paper Mario type or Mario and Luigi type game. And what about you, David? If you could be one bad guy, who would it be?
I like the Pokies.
Pokies. The cactus?
Yes.
So that would be funny to just see this cactus kind of like dancing.
I forgot his name for a second. William, his idea. What if they decided to make another game from the perspective of Bowser and Mario is actually the villain?
Oh my gosh, it would be like, that would be so funny.
It's the Donkey Kong Jr. 2 of the series.
Valid, yeah, pretty much.
It would just be it would be too hard because of the kidnapping of Peach, because then it would like...
No, but he could kidnap Luigi or something, or Waluigi.
I think the kidnapping of Peach is the one thing that like, it's like either Bowser's like a really creepy stalker, or he's just straight up kidnapping. He's a kidnapper. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody needs love. Come on.
Valentine's Day is around the corner.
Now, I'm thinking they would probably add the ways to do Mario 2 in the game, and I'm wondering if they would incorporate the Game Boy Mario stuff, so like Mario Land 2.
Please,
and
no, I hate this for Mario Land.
Allow you to play as Wario and do Wario Land stuff.
Ooh,
I would be like, if they were gonna do anything, what would make me happy is more templates. Like add in like Wario Land from the Virtual Boy too.
Yeah,
I think Virtual Boy is the system that shall not be named at the Nintendo World.
Oh, I'll name it all I want.
Yeah, me too. I like the Virtual Boy. It was fun when I first played it.
Just missing that one game, and I have the complete US set.
Snow Brothers?
Jack Brothers.
Jack Brothers.
which is an Atlas title, which makes it expensive.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. Man, it would be so cool. Does anyone stream Virtual Boy? I don't know. What were you saying, David?
So speaking of Atlas, I guess maybe the Direct might be able to show us, but how do you think the Joker reveal is going to happen? Do you think it's going to be a showcase, or do you think it's just going to be like a short trailer?
It could be a trailer
of gameplay, maybe some concept art, maybe a moveset video like they did for when they announced Smash 4 6 years ago. There was a showcase video, like 10 minutes. Yeah, there was like a 10-minute video, and it showcased, like, Sakurai likes to go into a lot of detail. He was talking about the perforated metal on Samus's armor for like 30 seconds. So so I wonder how that's gonna pan out. What do you guys think?
Well, first off, I think Tibby Sand just subscribed, so thank you for that subscribe. I could see him doing that just because, but you know what? I talked a lot. You guys talk. Mark, you talk. What do you think?
I would love to see one of those 5-minute videos that we used to see, like when Super Smash for Wii U got announced, where like they added like elements from like their retrospective games, and you get the music in, and then you get the Nintendo characters like Mario and Link coming into their world, and like with that specific character in their world, and, you get this one big epic trailer. I feel like we were kind of missing that from Ultimate a little bit. I mean, we got a few, but definitely probably the best aspect from the Wii U Smash is just all those trailers that characters like that awesome Mario Kart trailer with Rosalina. I think that was probably my favorite one. So definitely, I would like to get back to that for the characters. Sure. So.
David, or Devin, what are you thinking? What kind of reveal are we getting on Joker? Are we gonna get one? Do you think? Think it's time?
Using the word reveal just makes me think of like revealing the character for the first time, and the video that we got was already mind-blowing.
Okay, fair point.
But
gameplay,
just a little bit of gameplay, just showing his moveset, seeing how he fights with the other characters. That's all I would really want. I would be happy with that.
Do you think? Let's pretend we are living in the February 13th Nintendo Direct world. Are we going to get a Persona 5 announcement for the Switch?
I personally think that yes, I think we are, or maybe not Persona 5, but some Persona, something, maybe a collection, something like that.
Q2 is coming out for the 3DS, so that might be Joker's inclusion.
Is that enough? Is that enough?
I'm not sure, but that is coming.
But I do think that because of the whole Xbox Live thing coming to the Switch, that Steve from Minecraft is definitely getting into Smash.
What are your thoughts on that? What do you guys think? I'm pro Steve in Smash Brothers. I think he deserves it. I
would actually love to see him. I think he would be a cool character.
I would too, definitely. And just the Microsoft, I can go back to dreaming. Literally the only character from my childhood that has not made it into Super Smash Bros. yet.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
Yeah, just recently I got the Lego Steve.
Yeah, I would love to see Banjo, but I'm not sure if he's going to get it. I really don't. I think Steve at this point is more popular and is probably going to get more of a stepping stone.
What if we get both? Huh? Why not
that
both?
Would be
what if
cool,
we're the Cheerio girl? Why not
out.
both?
I'm not.
And Banjo kind of represents Nintendo as well, so.
No, yeah. But then we're going to get the kick in the pants for like, you want a banjo? We're giving ukulele.
Watch,
no,
we don't get
nuts and bolts.
Watch, we don't get Banjo or Steve. We get Cronkers. Huh?
Dude, I would love Conker.
He was originally a family-friendly character.
Yeah. Originally. Keyword.
Get the Diddy Kong version of Conker. No.
Yeah.
Who do you think's more likely? Take a vote. Who's more likely, Banjo-Kazooie or Steve?
Definitely.
Ooh, that's tough.
The popularity of Minecraft in 2019 is unrivaled. Definitely,
Good point.
Was a character that definitely hit its prominence when we were all kids. So I mean, so Banjo is obviously just my own personal childhood dream character, but I mean, if I'm throwing my brain into it, then it's as the best business money wise decision to promote Minecraft is Steve is the obvious.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw that video. I think around the release of Smash Ultimate a couple months ago, on a very popular Japanese YouTube channel, Sakurai made an appearance, and it's not just any ordinary YouTube channel. It's a Minecraft focused channel.
Oh, here we go. I didn't know this. Talk to me.
So Minecraft is huge everywhere, but it is really big in Japan as well. And there are these two YouTubers that are like brothers or something, and they go on builds and they do whatever you do in Minecraft. And Sakurai showed up, but they weren't playing Minecraft; they were playing Smash. So it's kind of a weird connection, but they do have an affiliation with Nintendo, so maybe that's the only reason why that they were playing. But it's interesting. I mean, I think it would be, like you said, a very business conscious decision. Kids love it. It's on every platform imaginable.
Paradox is saying he made a couple appearances on that show, actually, and I didn't even know of one. Riley, see you later, man. I know you'll catch us later, so have a good day. So what is this? A Minecraft channel?
Minecraft focused channel, yeah.
And Sakurai just shows up?
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but he shows up and he's promoting Smash Brothers, and these guys are very goofy. I guess you can kind of like draw allusions to like maybe like a Good Mythical Morning where it's Rhett and Link, and they're just kind of like doing random stuff. They're kind of like that channel, but they do it in a Minecraft orientated way. And yeah, he was on there and he was talking about Smash, and they were making jokes, and Sakurai was actually kind of being silly and humorous. They ask him, they're like counting at the screen. They're like, 1, 2, 3. Why did you put 3 links in the game? And then Sakurai's like, I ask myself that every single day.
That epic.
That is funny. I asked myself.
I'll link you to the video, Ken. Sometime.
Yeah, please do. I want to check that out. I like how they were like, why 3 links and not like why 8 Fire Emblem.
Let me hop into that real quick. Now, each link, in my opinion, has its own different personality. I mean, he's kind of got the same kind of moves, but he's got like different weapons and items, and it's a different story and blah blah blah. But I consider all 3 links to be completely different people. So and I think that they did a really good job of differentiating their movesets in the game to where they like Link from Breath of the Wild, Link from Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker Link. All 3 of them feel completely different. So
right, I mean, we have 5 or 6 different Ryus in Street Fighter. So
let me that brings up an interesting point. And Paradox, we'll talk about Xbox Live in a second. Also, I made a comment, Paradox. I saw your comment last night a little too late, so I would love to have some feedback actually on my Smash Brothers dojo that I've been doing on Fridays. But in regards to what you were saying, Mark, about the links, let me ask this. So everybody's here, right? Everybody's here in Smash Brothers. But is Link really there? I mean, Link. Because if you look at Smash for N64, Melee, Brawl, and Wii U, all right, that Link has a certain type of moveset. He has the hook shot. He has this. He has that. He has his bombs and stuff. But all of the Links, right up until Breath of the Wild Link, all of their weapons were very similar. The bombs were always standard. The boomerang was always, everything was always standard. But with this Breath of the Wild, we get technology and all this stuff. So is Breath of the Wild Link in Smash Brothers, is he like a totally different Link? Like, is he too different to be considered the same Link that we've had in the past? You get what I'm saying?
I have two different answers.
Oh, okay. So he's running for office, everybody. He's running for office.
So in my brain, I can accept that Link from Breath of the Wild is the spiritual representation of the Link character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But if I'm coming at it from my heart and from my childhood, definitely the Link from Ocarina of Time to Twilight Princess. I think definitely from a childhood aspect and from my heart, that is the best spiritual representation of Link.
Yeah, it just seems like every Link, with the exception of Breath of the Wild Link, can like, you know, be the Smash representative. But it almost seems like to me, Breath of the Wild Link should have been a different Link. And I get it. It would be kind of weird, and people would complain. They'd be like, well, why don't you just give him a blue skin, a blue outfit for Smash Brothers? And I also understand that young Link had the same move set as adult Link. He was just a little quicker. So that kind of like, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna be like really nerdy, really nitpicky, what do you think, David? You're the resident Smash expert. Is Breath of the Wild Link, is he too different, or is he, you know, is it nitpicking?
I think he's just different enough to differentiate himself from the other two.
So does that mean Link is not here in the "everyone is here" tagline?
I honestly think it's kind of a bold thing that Sakurai did to change one of the flagship Smash characters from 3 iterations, you know, ago, to actually change it to where his bomb is now remote detonable, and you also have his Gale Boomerang is gone, who was there in the last 2 games. Obviously his sword is the mainstay there. And it really is, I think, bold, because look at the way he was marketed. In the reveal trailer almost a year ago now, they show Champion Link without the little elf cap. I don't know the proper name for that, but just the green cap. All the promo art, it shows.
Get off my channel.
all the promo art shows Breath of the Wild Link, like the blue shirt Link. It's like a fresh start, and I'm sure it was a hard decision. I'm sure Sakurai wanted to keep that iconic outfit because it's very easily identifiable. But I think Breath of the Wild, with its popularity and success, I think they're ready for like a new era almost, and it kind of tells you that he's not going to be afraid to pull the trigger for other characters in the future. And
other characters got changes as they went along as well, like Mario and Luigi, and
right.
Pit got a change, like between the next game he was in one game and then the next game they changed him up. So
and I
all
agree.
Characters are subject to change.
But is Link too different? That's the question here. Is this Link too different that he warrants a completely new character, and the old Link that we're accustomed to is not here? Because you could argue, I think
the question is, should he have been an Echo Fighter?
Oh, there you go. Should he have been an Echo Fighter with different things? I don't know.
I'm almost wondering toggle between the two, like allow you to pick either version.
But I think with the remote bombs and stuff, that would have made the echo-ness of it a little different. But I see what you're saying. Okay, let me ask you this then. Let me rephrase the question. Is Melee Link here?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No.
So then, by answering that, you guys are saying that not everybody is here.
But the original Mario also isn't there.
Well, it's different. Like I would say Peach is here. I would say Peach from Melee is here.
Yeah, she hasn't really changed that much, though.
Maybe
been a fan of Flood. I say bring back Mario at 100%.
Maybe young Link fills that void, Ken. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously they're not the same, but I don't know. I mean, he kind of plays just like both Links in Melee.
He does.
But obviously, hitboxes are different. The size of the character, I guess there are like certain damage percentages that are different in the moves.
And I don't mind a character, them changing the whole move set and this and that. I mean, the character is still, there and all, but I'm just saying, is the Breath of the Wild Link so vastly different than, and I mean, because he still does his downward thrust and all that stuff, but I mean, having moves does not make a character. I could run out into the street with a sword and downward thrust a bunch of like squirrels and stuff, but that doesn't make me Link.
It makes you I don't know.
It makes me dangerous to society.
To squirrels. I actually was thinking about this the other day. I was telling myself, wouldn't it be cool if they had Ocarina of Time Link, adult Link, as like a skin or something with the folds of the long sleeves and the leggings and all that. That would be pretty cool.
I want those white leggings back.
I'll tell you what, I had a conversation about that with a buddy a few days ago. Like, I never understood why they wouldn't add all versions of adult Link of just to be skins. Like, I mean, you can.
I'm surprised. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah,
I could see that with Mega Man, the Splatoon kids, the Koopa kids. So many of those guys having and those are vastly different skins. I mean, with Link, it could have. I mean, most of them are kind of the same. One's just a darker green than the other.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Tunic of the Wild one. I don't like seeing the legs for some reason. I like the white legging over it. I'm nitpicky, man.
Not a leg guy, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
After completing every one of those shrines in Breath of the Wild, I made myself like
it. He was just looking too long to not like it.
But yeah, I mean, just look at Mark's background. You see that Link on the right side, our right side, and to us that's Link. Maybe someone will mistake that and say, "Who's that Fire Emblem character?" I'm not sure.
This is Link to many of us too.
But it's like Ken was saying, Breath of the Wild became like the first foray into Zelda for a lot of people.
Or brought him back, yeah.
So that's probably a big reason why they included Breath of the Wild Link as opposed to OG Link that we know.
Yeah, and I'm totally cool with it. I'm just like, from a very nerdy standpoint, 'cause a lot of people would be like, shut up, let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. But I'm like, I want to really, I just want to get your opinion on this. Is Link from Melee here? Because I would say, if this was Brawl, Link from Melee was there. If this was the Wii U, Link from Melee was there. Even though, Link on Melee was he started off Ocarina of Time, but I consider them the same. But on the Switch version, everybody's here but Waluigi and Melee Link.
Yeah, I mean, so I say that he's differentiable enough from the other Links, but I feel like they could have kept going. They could have kept going. I mean, and maybe not even in Breath of the Wild movesets. Maybe they could have had like Din's Fire from Ocarina of Time as a moveset.
Oh, that would have been insane.
Nairu's Love or Pharaoh's. Is it Pharaoh's Wind?
No, Rivali's Gale.
No, for
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. The three. You've got.
You've just lost your Zelda card, Ken.
I was reading the comments.
Pharaoh's Wind, yes. So Din's Fire, Nairu's Love, and Pharaoh's Wind. That would have been. I loved that as a kid. Like that was in fourth grade. They asked me to. They taught us how to make kites, and people were putting like all kinds of different things on their kite, and I had the Hyrule Shield on it, and because Ocarina of Time was really big at the time for me, and I drew each of those. I guess you want to call them stones or whatever. Din's Fire, Nairu's Love, and Pharaoh's Wind on it, and I just thought that would be a really cool thing in Smash to have. I know that Zelda has Pharaoh's Wind. as her up B, and Din's Fire. Yeah, she actually has that in her moveset. But maybe Link could have used it a little bit differently.
They drew a lot on different Zeldas for this one, and it was a surprise pick, in my opinion, to pick the Link Between Worlds Zelda. But I'm okay with it. I don't really care. To me, all the Zeldas are kind of the same. I guess some aren't, because Ocarina, there's some Zeldas that are, except for the Breath of the Wild one, she's vastly different too. I guess there's three kinds of Zeldas now. Breath of the Wild Zelda, kind of the 2D Zeldas where they don't do much, or you got the Ocarina of Time Zelda where she's just in the fight. And
I like the Zelda from Skyward Sword. I like her hair.
Yeah. That's when they really, I believe that's when they, no, probably Wind Waker. Never mind that. I was about to say, when did Zelda really start coming into her own? And I guess it would have to be Ocarina of Time is when she really started coming into her own.
I think so.
60 Formula joined us. He is our resident dog YouTuber. If you guys like dogs, huskies, and whatnot, but he threw out there, did you guys see Nintendo's post about the Valentines? And I did actually
commented on it, but it didn't pop up. I keep getting an error when I'm
gonna throw it in front of people at home. Will see this. Look at this. Waluigi wins Nintendo's official Valentine's Day poll. Let's look at the numbers, people.
Waluigi wins.
So Mario, it's a vote. Mario gets 15, Peach 68, Luigi 27, Yoshi 44, Pikachu 32, Wario 30, Waluigi 2,197.
Okay.
That is so ridiculous.
That's so funny.
Isabel came second with 222, and then we dropped back down to like 65 for Link and stuff. To Waluigi. So Mario 15, Waluigi 2,197. For the record, I do not have 2,197 accounts. All right, so don't think that was me.
Sakurai sitting back somewhere and still like, nope. Don't care.
Yeah, Sakurai's like,
Nope.
say,
Not gonna work.
It ain't gonna work.
That's so
like
funny.
the Jimmy Dean sausage. Did you guys ever hear that somebody's gonna call the Jimmy Dean sausage hotline, and he's complaining about how they changed the packaging? He's like, "You're gonna try to feed a family on a 10-inch roll sausage? It ain't gonna work."
So dumb. Nintendo fans, you gotta love them. Sometimes like those trolls, sometimes they are hilarious. So yeah, that's what we got there. What's up, Nick Clayton? How'd your grocery shopping go last night? Were you able to listen to us, or did you listen to some Blink 182 in the grocery store? Man, I'll tell you what.
Don't bash on them; they're good.
Oh, I'm saying like the songs of our youth are now the grocery store songs. That's when you're old. Like
Lord,
when you have a
yeah,
favorite grocery store and they're playing your songs, you're old.
We're gonna have music in my Target soon. As I've mentioned, we're renovating the entire store, and one of the things that's going to happen once everything's all moved around, they're going to add a music system.
Oh wow, jamming. You know what? Let's talk a little bit. Mark, why don't you go into your channel? We kind of delve right into the Nintendo Direct stuff. We got to talk about Xbox Live still, but Mark, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourselves? And guys, ask him a couple questions here and there to kind of flesh out some things that he might not think about because it's like awkward. Talk about yourself, man. Right now, talk. Praise yourself.
That definitely feels like I'm on a job interview.
What are your qualifications?
Yeah. You tell me, what's your favorite sci-fi show? If you don't say Firefly, out.
I don't know, man. I think I gotta.
All right, what's your favorite? Okay, whoa, wait a minute. If you're gonna throw up the Vulcan sign, what's your favorite Star Trek?
I feel like I'm gonna get killed for this, but I really like the newer movies, man. I don't know. I really wasn't a Star Trek fan.
Oh, you are gonna get killed for this. Like, of all the things you could have said, that was the wrong answer.
All right, I'm just gonna jump on that bandwagon. I like the new movies too.
No,
so
wait,
there.
DS9. If you guys, okay, that's like when I really get nerdy when I start talking Star Trek. DS9. Gosh.
I actually liked DS9.
That was such an awesome show. That was like one of the first series that really they started that whole arc. Like TV shows nowadays, they have like season-long arcs, but DS9, in my opinion, was one of the first shows that actually did it. If you don't know which one DS9 is, 'cause everyone knows Kirk and Picard, you know, but DS9 was the one. It was on a space station, and the captain, he was African American, and it was the guy and they had the Ferengi with the big ears.
Yeah, I really like him, and I had a thing for the second version of Dax.
Yeah, I thought both decks were cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second one was cuter. But man, that show was so good. Anyways, let's not talk about. Sorry.
But yeah,
Mark, how are you? Who are
between
you?
Star Trek and Star Wars, yeah, I think we're going to have a fight.
All right. I got
talk about your channel.
All right. So I've been doing YouTube seriously for about a year and a half. So pretty much, basically, what you're gonna find on my channel is like my travel vlogs. So like I take my family to Walt Disney World every single year. So we got vlogs about that and like the new stuff that's going on. I mean, if you've ever been, awesome. So about the episode about that and Universal Studios, and then when we branch off into the Nintendo stuff, I mean, obviously, I'm a diehard for Super Mario, Zelda, Smash, Star Fox, pretty much everything at Nintendo. There's new coming out when it comes to toys, gaming. I'm usually talking about that too. I mean, I'm usually into like PlayStation, God of War, Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, all that stuff too. We talk about that, and then when it comes over to like the anime side, I'm hugely into Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, man. That's also a huge part of my channel as well. So I mean, we're talking about the show like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and then I also do reviews of all of the anime import figures from like SH Figure Arts and Figma and World of Nintendo and Marvel Legends and all that stuff that comes out too. And then I mean, we talk about Star Wars. We talk about X-Men, and then I also do movie reviews as well too. Not really every movie that comes out, but definitely like the blockbusters like Aquaman, new Harry Potter, or the Fantastic Beasts. We talk about like the.
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Huh?
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
My favorite Marvel movie, probably Captain America 3. It's probably my all-time favorite.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really like the third Thor.
But yeah, but in a nutshell, pretty much I vlog about everything that is generally interesting to me. It's definitely not centered in one, which I know is like the big YouTube sin. If you have to focus, your channel on like one specific thing if you like everyone to garner some success. But I don't know, I feel like if I ever did that, then it would really start to feel like a job for me, and I already got 2 of those. So I mean, just for fun, and if it ever like translated into something more, then hey, then we can go into that once it became something more. But for right now, this is just something that I just love doing. I've developed a huge passion for it, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So that's where I'm at. And I'm at 676 subscribers at the time of this podcast. So.
All right. Well, hopefully people will check you out, and in 24 hours you'll have 1 or 2 more.
I'm definitely going to subscribe. I mean, that's a lot of content that I'm interested in.
Thanks, yeah. Man. Okay, I know you said you don't focus on one, but if I pin you down, what would you have the most videos on?
Right now, definitely Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z is a lot of. Okay. Explain to me Dragon Ball Z. I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z. Can you I know, Devin, I get it. It's like very like you want to talk convoluted. It's more intense than the Kingdom Hearts storyline. But can you if you were to sell me on it, dude, you need to start watching Kingdom Hearts 3. Or not Kingdom Hearts 3. You need to start watching Dragon Ball Z. What would you how would you tell me to watch it?
Pretty much, and that's tough too, because it's been going on for so long now. At this point, I mean, I've been watching since I was a kid, and it just recently got brought back into world of prominence. With the new show Dragon Ball Super. I think it premiered back in 2013.
Is Super like that? Is it a reboot or is it a continuation?
Dragon Ball Super is a continuation of Dragon Ball Z, and really Dragon Ball Z is the one that came to Toonami in like the late 90s and early 2000s when we were all kids, and that's where I was introduced to it. And definitely, and I don't know if you guys are Dragon Ball Z fans, or for anybody that's a Dragon Ball Z fan that's watching, you know, I came home from school one day, I think I was in like second or third grade, and cut on the TV, and I just saw this guy, you know, he had on some armor and a tail, and this other guy, he had on an orange and blue outfit, and they were just in the air and fighting, you know, at the speed of light, and they were disappearing and just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly how I got into it too, because of Toonami.
Okay, two things. Christian tells me first thing actually. Nick asks your channel's name. So, Mark, if you're able to see the chat, can you just well, first off, say your channel's name and then also put a link.
I cannot put a link, but
okay, I'll see if I can. What's your channel's name?
Markjack 79. That's MarcJack 79.
Okay, I'll see if I can put a link myself. Okay,
it already put it in when I typed in Markjack.
Okay. Yeah, but
I already added the 79.
But the way Mark described how he came upon Dragon Ball Z is I think I came on around the same time. Frieza was really prominent during this arc, so I came during the Frieza arc, but. The way he was describing that, you know, you see a suit of armor with the monkey tail and a guy wearing orange and blue. The colors are very striking. Like, it's very iconic. So that's why I think it grabbed a lot of people, because you have a lot of flashy sequences, a lot of cool fights. I grew up loving kung fu movies and martial arts movies. So it just kind of seemed natural. It's kind of like this testosterone fest, essentially. So, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy how I actually think Dragon Ball is the greatest anime of all time. It's not my favorite. I have my personal favorites, but I do think the cultural impact it's unrivaled, to be honest. I mean, look at what's being for the Japan Olympics in a couple years. On the actual marketing, you have Mario and Goku, so like that's a legit that's legit marketing for the Olympics
that's pretty sweet
for Japan, because I mean, you guys remember the reveal for the Olympics, the way they revealed the Japan
Mario
Olympics?
Popped out, or you know what? Let's pretend we don't. Explain it to us.
So they transitioned to the. I think
this is real life. We're not talking Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. This is real life. Last Summer Olympics.
They transitioned to the Prime Minister of Japan, and he's in a limo, and he jumps through this. Mario appears, and he jumps through this warp pipe, and he comes up at the end of the Rio Olympics. So at the ceremonial end of the Olympics, they do that. What they do is like they pass the torch to the next country, the host country, and the Prime Minister came up on a Mario like tube, like a pipe, and that's kind of crazy. I mean, the Olympics are kind of like a very mainstream, general audience kind of thing. Everybody tunes in to watch curling or whatever. And for Mario and Nintendo to be represented at the Olympics, it's kind of a big deal, man.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I didn't know Goku was also. It's looking like the chat is pretty supportive of the Dragon Ball, and I gotta say, Dragon Ball is one of the things I don't have on my nerd punch card punched out. So
yeah, I never got into it. I got into other anime, but it's just what I never got into.
So tell me, how do I go about starting then? I want to watch it. So what do I do? It's just one of those things. Do I have to watch every Doctor Who from 1960 onward to understand it? Or can I start in 2013?
I would definitely download Crunchyroll. Every episode of Dragon Ball Z is on Crunchyroll. I believe a lot of it is on YouTube as well. I'm not for sure. I mean, I haven't checked for every single episode of DBZ on YouTube, but I know all of it is on Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Now that's an anime streaming service.
Yeah.
Most prominent anime streaming service.
Like Netflix.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I think just the easiest way to do it is just start on episode 1 of Dragon Ball Z. Just try to go from there. I mean, there is the mother series that took place before Dragon Ball Z, and that one is just called Dragon Ball. But honestly, I didn't watch the entirety of Dragon Ball until after I had already watched the entirety of Dragon Ball Z. So you really, I mean, it helps to kind of know that backstory of like the of some of the characters from the show. But I think, you know, on the American side of things, it really didn't hit its prominence until Dragon Ball was.
What about you, David or Devin? How would you tell me to go and start Dragon Ball?
Honestly, because of the way I started on Toonami years ago, it's probably best to start from the beginning. It might be a little bit hard to do because there is a lot of episodes, but I can't really think of a better starting point so you can actually understand everything.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't. So I started in the Frieza arc, and then I didn't have cable for a bit. So I know you can exile me, but I never watched the Cell Saga, and then I jumped back into Buu, and that's actually my favorite saga. So it's just, I mean, it's okay to jump around if you just want to see cool sequences and know a little bit about characters. But if you want like the whole scope of it, you just got to start from the beginning.
Yeah, and that's where the love comes in. I believe because I mean, of course, it's got like its cool fights and like the awesome epic like beat down, like the world or the earth is on the line. But I think where the love of it comes in is when you get attached to these characters, man. When you're watching them every day and you know from where they've come from. It's like I kind of compare it to the Rocky movies. If anybody is into that, because you know how like
if he dies, he dies.
Yeah. You know, like he gets his butt whooped kind of at the beginning of the movie, and then he like goes through this epic training sequence, and then you know he somehow, against all odds, he turns out triumphant by the end of the movie. It's kind of the same premise for like each saga. In Dragon Ball, you know, something happens, and then you know the main characters usually get their butts whipped, and then they just go through this amazing array of training and just, you know, character motivations and you know getting closer to each other and just being able to, you know, just fight against all odds and somehow, you know, beat the main universe destroying entity that's threat.
Does anyone know how much Crunchyroll is? How much is it a month?
I think
I'm not sure.
It's got to be like $7.99 or something.
I don't know. Let me see. I'll think about it. I've been, you know, like I said, it's not on my Nerd Punch card, and you know everybody likes it. You know people that that run our circles. You know they like it, so I think I would. Is it family friendly enough? Like my 6-year-old, 4-year-old, they can watch it with me.
I started watching it when I was about 8, so you know. I think,
I got to be careful with the 4-year-old because, you know, their brains are still developing, whatnot. So you don't want them to get like totally addicted to just fighting sequences. You want them to still appreciate story.
Yeah. I have a 2-year-old myself. It's definitely certain fights and episodes that I absolutely would not let her see. But definitely the majority of it is family friendly. Yes.
Okay, cool. Talk to me, guys, about Xbox Live. Did you hear that? Xbox Live might be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Who can like expound upon that? What about you, Devin?
I'm hearing it's not what I expected it to be.
Say again?
I'm hearing it's not what I expected it to be.
Okay, what did you expect it to be, and what are you hearing?
I expected it to be where you could actually get the games for Xbox digitally on the Switch.
So, for example, Kingdom Hearts 3 or Halo 1? What are you talking?
Anything that's digital. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
But I guess they're allowing you to use your Xbox One account to log in or some. You'll have to go into it because I've been hearing bits and pieces, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, my thing, I don't understand it at all because is it the service itself? Is it somehow going to give us the games thing that where they have that gaming streaming service thing? What is it actually giving us?
Any thoughts from your end, David?
I'm just thinking, streaming services. I mean, maybe you could play like some Game Pass games, like maybe a certain selection. I'm thinking like Ori and the Blind Forest is like an obvious choice there, or Cuphead. I think Cuphead would be perfect on this.
That might be where we're getting our Netflix. Everyone's been begging for Netflix.
Yeah, I've never seen so many people want Netflix. Like, guys, we can get Netflix on our refrigerator now. Relax. We don't need Netflix.
And browsers. They want browsers.
Yeah, I just could see all the people using the Wii U as their browser.
Yeah, show of hands who uses the browser on any other game system.
Right. So here's the thing, like, so Xbox, it just does not sell in Japan. Like, you look at those numbers, it sells like 100. By the way, my chat, my ability to look at the chat has kind of froze. So if William, please keep an eye on the chat for me.
Okay.
And just shout out special comments or whatnot. And tell me if something's directed towards me. So it sells like 100, 200 consoles a month. And that is like, and then you compare Nintendo or the PlayStation 4 and it's like 2,500 or something like that, 25,000. And so it's like, it's just non-existent in Japan. But it sells well enough to have survived so many console wars. But it's like 40. Nintendo's about to surpass it, actually. They're very close to surpassing the lifetime sales with the Switch. And I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing for the Xbox. I mean, if it's making money, it's making money. Is it making as much money as it could? Whatever. But you can't deny that Nintendo has the IPs, but not the ability to stream or streamline online. And Xbox, though, Xbox does not have the IPs, but they, as a service-based company, they can outperform anybody. PlayStation's kind of in the middle of the two, with their IPs being a little more geared towards, teens and adults. But if Xbox Live did come to the Nintendo Switch the way that we were originally thinking, would that, like, would Xbox just get out of the streaming? Would they get out of the console race and still yet have their foot in the video game world? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think at all about this whole, like, huh?
It would be a match made in heaven for sure, because I mean, in my opinion, Microsoft has never had that steady, stream of first party titles that made me want to buy the console. I mean, maybe when I was back in college or in high school, Halo and Gears of Wars, they were really fun games to play, but I need more than two franchises to put down $400 or $500 on the system.
Yeah, because you go into a game store and you ask them, what are the games to look for? Like my kid's looking to pick up a system. His friends have an Xbox. What are the games to go for that? And they're always gonna say Halo, Forza, Gears of War, and it seems like that's the only thing they have going for them.
And now in Japan, they do stream some games on the Nintendo Switch, like Assassin's Creed and Resident Evil 7. Those were streamed. Now, we've talked about that kind of, and you wouldn't really have that ability in America because America is so big and vast, and we have just such a different range. I'll single out one of our viewers. He lives in Alabama, so I don't know if the area where Christian necessarily lives would have that capability to stream a game completely from Nintendo's infrastructure that's in America. But
yeah, we have some of the worst infrastructure for internet over here. I think it was I was watching a video. It's like South Korea has better internet than we do, and for some people, they just wouldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, but if Microsoft put their hat in the race and started like really teaming up with Nintendo, would that be what we need in order to get like just streamed games? Kingdom Hearts 3 streamed because you can't get it on the cartridge. I don't know. Would you guys be opposed to it? Do you think like, oh, let's keep them separate, or is it just you don't care? What's your opinion on Xbox Live, or what's something that? How about this? What's something bad that could come about Xbox Live being on the Switch, and what's something that you would think would be fantastically awesome?
Okay, awesome for people that don't have the system to actually be able to play some of those games. And personally, for me, I don't do a lot of digital gaming, so I'm personally not going to go after those games. But I think the bad, if it's going to go with the same groups of people that are playing online on that system, you're going to get the toxicity of that group coming over with the people on the Switch. And the same if it was Sony and Microsoft, if those groups came together as well.
That's valid. Okay. Devin?
I was thinking pretty much the exact same thing, honestly. I don't know. I don't really know what to think of it yet because I don't really know what's going on with it. If I had more of like a idea of what it actually will be, I think I would have a better opinion.
Yeah, it's a very wait and see sort of thing.
Yeah, because I don't think we get the full breakdown until like what, another 2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
maybe,
that could
maybe the
yeah,
direct that's apparently coming up. That's probably what's going to happen.
Huh. And what about you, Devin? I mean, not Devin. David.
I think it's going to be a select catalog of games that you can play. Maybe things that are perfect for Switch, like Super Lucky's Tale, Ori and the Blind Forest, Cuphead. I could maybe see a Halo collection. I think that'd be very interesting. I just feel like over the last year, Nintendo and Microsoft have been rubbing shoulders enough to where an amalgamous form of the two is not crazy. Just for this current generation. Obviously, next generation is every man for himself. But I think that you got Minecraft and you've got Banjo and you got Banjo and Halo skins in the game in the Nintendo versions of Minecraft. So and vice versa. I think you can play the you could play the Super Mario one on Microsoft. I think I'm not sure. You can't. Don't quote me on that.
You can actually. I think I tried once.
But I was surprised to see the Halo stuff in the Switch version though.
Yeah, so it's just these little things that have been creeping up, which gives more light to Master Chief, Steve, Banjo theories for Smash, obviously. But
what if the next 3 characters are literally Banjo, Master Chief, and Steve?
Just the rest is all Microsoft IPs.
And then and then one Gears of War guy.
I still want to call him Master Chef. When I first saw the name, like when the character was first mentioned on message boards, I misread it as Master Chef.
You have no idea his culinary skills. Maybe he is a Master Chef.
He could be.
We don't judge here before we know. I want to taste his cooking first.
but yeah, I mean it's the 2019 is going to be very big. It's going to break molds. It's gonna do some weird stuff where I know, especially for Nintendo, I think you're gonna see some.
Yeah, it's
really
funny. Nintendo had 2017. They won 2017. They just took it, and now 2018. I thought was a great year, but I think they kind of just laid low. But there's nothing on the horizon except for Nintendo in 2019. Okay, Nintendo just doesn't even have to do anything, right?
Yeah, very true.
Because PlayStation, there's so little of PlayStation, they're not even coming to E3, right?
And PlayStation recently has been doing a lot of censoring.
Yeah, PlayStation is they're making a lot of mistakes.
And there's a game I'm hoping Nintendo announces maybe in the Direct to come out to the US, and that's Senran Kagura Peach Ball.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah. Devin got it. I got my copy here. We can't show it on stream.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, if you can't show it on the stream, then Nintendo's not going to show it in their direct.
You never know. But no, like that's something I'm hoping they announce it for over here. It would be something that would not get censored. Because the Severin games on the PS4, the recent one, actually got censored.
Nick is saying that maybe, think of it this way, Nintendo brought Rare out of obscurity. Now Rare is owned by Microsoft. They still love Nintendo. They will always find a way to work together. If you love it, let it go. If it comes back to you. It was maybe, though, you could see like that Rare, who knows, maybe it was some grassroots type of thing that... Okay, I'm gonna get all historical on you for a second. What?
Oh, they need to put the Rare collection that the Xbox One got. They need to put that on the Switch.
That would be really cool.
That would be something.
That's the one game I've been interested in on the Xbox One.
Yeah, and maybe this partnership would allow for the N64 Classic to have more Rareware titles on it. Like obviously GoldenEye and Banjo and
imagine this. They do a retro a Rare collection, but to make it different, they add Donkey Kong in it or something like that,
There you go, yeah.
That way it's a Nintendo Switch Rare exclusive type of thing. And then you get all those things and Nintendo still gets to keep their IP on it and it's not like really weird. I'll say this, Tibby Sand, what's up?
It's my friend Erica.
Erica, what's up? How are you? I will say, like, I was getting at, what if Rare, like, instead of, because, okay, so when China invaded Mongolia, right, way back when, the Mongolian culture eventually assimilated the Chinese culture. And what if Rare did that? Microsoft, invaded and bought Rare. But what if the Rare culture kind of seeped its way in over the last like 10, 15 years into the Microsoft video game, and it was the Rare culture that kind of assimilated Microsoft, even though they were the ones that got invaded per se. And this is now we're starting to see the fruits of that kind of thinking into our nowadays. Any thoughts on that, or is that I'm just being like, whoa, Ken, shut up?
Nah, it kind of makes sense though.
A little bit.
We'll have to see.
Nick asked if we had one game for 6 months on a deserted island, what would it be? I know it's a hard one. Actually, it might not be so hard. Let's say one online game and one not online game.
I would delete my memory of Breath of the Wild and take that. And for non-online and for my online, if we're sticking with Nintendo, I think the obvious choice is Smash Brothers. So.
Yeah, I think Smash Brothers is the go-to one. It has to be Smash. To me, it would have to be Smash, Splatoon, or Mario Kart. I don't know what else you would do.
I still have to finish Xeno, so I'll bring that with me.
Taking it with you. And what's your online game?
I don't really do much online. I guess I'll do Smash since that's like the one game.
Since it's there. Okay.
But if we're gonna go outside of Nintendo, I'll probably bring my Final Fantasy 14 with me.
I'm sorry, I meant Christian asked that question, not Nick. Okay, Devin, what are you bringing?
To try to differentiate, I would probably say the Link Between Worlds as the offline, because that game was fantastic.
That's an interesting one because it's not that long of a game. I mean, it's a great game.
I know, but dude, I milked that game for gotta be 2 or 3 months just because I wanted to make sure I got everything. I loved it so much. And the online, I don't know, the one that I've been playing the most ever since the Switch came out is Splatoon 2. So I like that.
Okay. David?
Probably agree with Mark. I'd go with Breath of the Wild, just because I'd have this handbook on how to survive in the wild since I'm in the desert.
Ooh, I'll put this fish with this bokoblin meat.
And then as far as an online game, in high school Modern Warfare was really big.
You're not doing Smash Brothers? You?
Yeah. I know. It seems like an obvious answer.
Yeah, I almost didn't ask you.
But that for me is more coach co-op than anything. I rarely play online. The only times that I played online this game, Ultimate, is one of your streams, Ken, and just kind of checking like a couple matches on the quick matches. So yeah, I like
just disinvited you to the party.
Yeah,
I like the connection that you have with people within a couch, within the group.
That's how most of my multiplayer gaming has been.
Mine too.
Was couch.
So I mean, yeah. So I
agree with you. I like couch co-op better. I will say this though: the stream on Fridays is kind of a little reminiscence of those days. I can't necessarily. I can't do couch co-op really anymore because the only one I got to play with is my 6-year-old because my wife doesn't want to play a lot. So I just don't have a lot of physical friends where I live because I moved from Texas a couple years ago, and I'm just like antisocial enough that people like me at work, but they don't like me enough to come over to my house. But when I do these Friday night fights things, and then like I see the 10 or 12 people showing up every time, it kind of gives me that feel. So it's like it's online but still kind of couch co-op as long as I have the chat up, because I'm not just going into the void of the internet to just fight random people. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like kind of a loophole. Maybe like I'm on the deserted island and setting up arenas and people will just be like playing with me all the time. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to copycat Mark here and say Breath of the Wild and Smash Brothers. Maybe a game I haven't played yet, like Octopath Traveler, just because I'm like, I got 6 months, I'll do that. If it was forever, I'm on this deserted island forever, then it would be Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, very true.
So let's move on. Oh, it's someone's birthday. It's Mudkip Games' birthday. Hello, Mudkip Games. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Huh?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So, Mudkip Games, happy birthday. What are you doing for your birthday, Mudkip? Tell us in the comments. He's like, I can't.
They're here listening to us.
New Mario Kart DLC in the Direct. That would be interesting. That'd be very interesting because Mario Kart's, well, it's been out for a very long time, and it still sells. It still sells like crazy, actually, because it is the #1. Smash will probably overtake it, but then eventually I see Mario Kart actually overtaking it again. Smash is over. You don't think
Mario Kart DLC with Travis touchdown in his motorcycle?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
I could see an Odyssey track.
That would be kind of a no-brainer, actually. Nintendo has stated they want to breathe more life into their games by adding DLC content. I think they did that with Splatoon 2, obviously, and Kirby, actually. Mario Kart they did, but I just don't know. They said Breath of the Wild was completely done with DLC, but they did not actually make that statement for Mario Kart 8. So what do you think? Do you think Mario Kart 8 DLC is a possibility?
I think it might be, depending on what they bring up.
Yeah, I mean, they had a missed opportunity by not having Kirby and his Warp Star. I honestly thought that trailer, like Mark said, where they introduced Rosalina and Luma, I actually thought that was a Mario Kart trailer introducing Kirby.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I did too. I forgot about that, but I thought that too.
And I was like, great, Rosalina in Smash. I'm so excited because she's one of my favorite Mario characters. But no Kirby. Kirby's a no-brainer. I mean, he's got the Warp Star. You could give him an item from his series.
I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
But it's fine. I'm not salty. But you know why? Because this gives further light to a potential Kirby Air Ride 2.
I would love to see Kirby Air Ride again. I'm on that boat with you.
Honestly, the most underrated GameCube game for like a AAA title.
I totally agree. My circle of friends, we loved that game when we were younger.
Think about it. Mark, have you played it?
Yes, I have.
Think about this. Kirby Air Ride was Battle Royale, and Destiny before it was Destiny. Like, think about it. You would go to City Trial, and you would get loot, and then sorry guys, coffee break.
Yay, she brought the coffee.
Yeah, but definitely. Now, my honest, to see them do DLC for Mario Kart because it's been out for too long. But would I love to see it? Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, Mario Kart is one of my favorite games for the system. But I would feel it's like any new ideas or new DLC ideas, it would just go to the next iteration.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what they would do for the next one because the one we already have is great as it is.
Yeah, it's just the newer things that hopefully. I mean, in my dream world, I would love to play more Zelda action and maybe some Kirby action, and just maybe kind of integrated into a Smash Brothers / Mario Kart.
I've always thought that they should at least add more other characters from other franchises within Nintendo's wheelhouse, the way Smash was with the Mario Kart stuff.
I think it would work.
I mean, then you still definitely call it Mario to keep that name in there, but you can still just add all those aspects for all those diehard fans like us that have been with Nintendo for 20 plus years. The newer kids that are just the Mario fans, they could see the Zelda stuff, and then they could be like, "Huh, what is this? I need to go play this game too." So I definitely don't think it would hurt the franchise in any way. I definitely think it would help it.
Yeah, I mean, Sega has their Sonic racing game with a bunch of other characters from Sega, and they still call it Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
no reason why a Mario Kart with other characters from other franchises can't still be Mario Kart.
Yeah, are you talking about how some people were complaining about that, or saying they should be called Nintendo Kart now or something, or just?
No, they should add additional characters from other franchises.
Yeah, at this point, I could see it. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad they didn't just completely just dump a bunch of characters in, and they kind of said, "Oh look, Link's now a part," and "Oh look, Splatoon Girl's now a part." It was kind of that is what I needed, I think. And I would probably complain at somebody who would cry about it, but I don't know. I might have cried about it a little if they had just said, "Here's 30 non-Mario characters in Mario Kart now."
Yeah, definitely have to be strategic about it. I don't go and add 15 Fire Emblem characters. I would be
that's the one exception. They could do 15 Fire Emblem characters, because I would love to see the internet's reaction.
Ken, you missed it, man. You stepped out, and my mom actually came in on stream and said hi. She waved hi to you guys.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's always when you leave, man.
Dang it. She did that on purpose. She was like, "Oh, he's gone."
she brought the croissant in the coffee.
Oh,
but,
okay, now David can start talking, guys.
Yeah, now I can wake up a little bit.
Let's recap. Why should I watch Dragon Ball Z, David?
All right, so the lore is I'm just kidding.
You didn't even mention he was so sleepy. I saw you have a statue of Goku, and you didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff here I forgot. I don't even. I'm selling it all tomorrow anyway, so it doesn't even.
Okay, $200 for that Lego game.
Yeah, 200. I was gonna say 150, but 150? That's fine. Oh. I don't mind. Yeah, no, but I was telling. I'm sorry, Mark.
What do you want for that Smash Brothers soundtrack in that right-hand corner there?
What's funny is I've never opened it, and before I got into collecting, I didn't know the value of sealed or non-sealed, and I almost opened it, but now it's still sealed.
Mine is still sealed, and I don't know where it is at the moment.
I have one still sealed that I would honestly sell. I don't want it anymore.
my sealed item I could get off the shelf right here was this Dreamcast copy of Pierre Solar.
Nice.
Hey,
Dreamcast is something I'd like to jump into again.
Yeah, this was a fan game that was in very small run.
Rumors are there's going to be a Dreamcast collection. And I can see it. Sega's pretty good when it comes to the collections. They are really good about. They've been very good about. I'm sorry, my dog is like whining and it's kind of distracting me, and I have trouble with words. She's just whining because she wants in here. Christian asks a really cool question. Pet peeves. What's your number one pet peeve as a gamer? I have some. I have lots. So let's just go down the list with now that he's awake. We'll go David, Mark, Devin, William. What's your number one pet peeve of modern day gaming, I guess?
It's actually something that has existed before today. I've mentioned it in the past. I'm not a big fan of gaming elitism, where someone will put you down for liking a franchise that is maybe unfavored or underrated or unpopular. I'm a big fan of seeing artistry in games, and if you like Neopets and you want to love Neopets as much as your heart desires, then go for it. The reason why I say Neopets is that was an experience I had. I was playing Neopets in first grade, and some kids next door were saying, well, Neopets. They were scoffing pretty much. They're like, I just beat Civilization, and it's like,
Neopets.
So I'm not a big fan of gaming elitism. I think as gamers, we should all come together because we are, in a way, we are still a niche group. There are casual gamers, and then there are the hardcore gamers. So I think we should just kind of embrace each other's differences.
So even
the people who game that play some games that wouldn't even call themselves gamers.
Yeah. So if you heard someone like making fun of somebody who is like, just all about Candy Crush, you would be like, chill off, dude. It's a game still, right?
No, Candy Crush sucks, man. I'm just kidding, man. No, I know a lot of people, man. That's grown-ups that was their into games. My uncle actually has maxed out Candy Crush on his phone. I know it's a never-ending game, but I think he's maxed out like certain accolades. So I mean, it's for the Super Bowl aired a spot about the Xbox accessibility control, where it enables gamers that are handicapped to have more accessibility in games, and I think that was a really powerful spot, commercial. So it encompasses what I'm trying to say. Everybody feels a certain way when playing games. You can be anything you want, and I think it's really powerful.
Okay, so Mark, let's go with you. What's your pet peeve?
Pay to win formats in online games.
I'm sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Pay to win formats in games. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I love Star Wars. I absolutely love it. But I refuse to support any game that you don't win based off of skill. You win based off because you spent $100 on DLC to blow your character out in the battlefield. No.
Okay, so for example, so what you're saying is play to win. Like, okay, so there's microtransactions like in a game like Fortnite where you can buy a different skin and that can set you apart from everybody. However, these skins will not give you a tactical advantage. Therefore, that's a microtransaction that's okay in your mind, but if suddenly in Fortnite you bought a nuclear bomb that could kill 50 people, that would be wrong because that would be a pay to win situation, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So pay to win is your big pet peeve. All right. Christian said his big pet peeve was playing Call of Duty with some scumbag bumping loud music. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Devin, what is your pet peeve?
Well, although I have to agree with Mark and David with what they were saying, and Christian, or whoever said that in the comments. Sorry, I might have messed up the name.
Hang on one second. Mark, if you can still hear me, you went blank there for a second. So see what you can do. If you can only talk, that's fine. Once you're back on, let us know. Interrupt whoever's talking. Go, Devin.
All right, but this is just a kind of silly thing that most people would think. But when I used to work at Best Buy and I worked in the video game department, I guess it's maybe just because these parents and people don't know video games enough, but when people call Mario, it makes me want to punch them.
That's awesome.
I hate it. And then when they're like, "Oh,
Mario,"
but they would also come in and say, like, "Well, my son's looking for the Mario game on the PS4. Where is it?" I'm like, "Well, no, it's a Nintendo game. It's only on the Wii because when I was working there. It's only on the Wii." But what do you mean? Yeah, but they get mad. Like, what do you mean it's not on the PlayStation? That's the console he has. Sorry. Like, what do you want from me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like Mark, can you hear me?
Yep. My phone went out. I gotta.
Okay, so we still have audio with Mark, but not visual. That's fine. Just stay with us, and you'll just have to do a little more interrupting, maybe, because it's a little harder to see or to know now without a visual. But it's all good. We can still hear you, and this is a podcast. So now, what's yours, William? Pet peeve?
Yeah, I'm just gonna reflect some of the other ones. Toxicity in the fandom itself and in general, even in games themselves. I know there are people who claim that, oh, well, I bought the game, therefore it's my right to do whatever I want in the game, so I can call you what I want and it's well within my rights. Mm-hmm. Then if they get banned, they're like, well, you're taking my rights away. You know, I paid for this. Like, yeah, you paid for it, but you agreed to the terms of service. There he is. He's back.
Oh, there he is. Hey, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, freedom of speech doesn't necessarily mean freedom to say whatever you want, whenever you want, on a service provided by someone else.
I had somebody years ago, probably around 2007 or so. It was at work. We had a new employee. He found out I was into gaming. Somebody mentioned to him, like, "Oh yeah, Will's into games." So he's like, "Oh, you're into games." He goes, "What's your gamer tag?" I'm like, "I don't have a 360." "What do you mean you don't have a 360? You must not be a gamer then." Like, at the time, I didn't even have a PS3 yet, but I had a PS2 and I had the Wii. And he's like, no, man, you're not a gamer. You know, you're not a gamer. It's just that point in time, people, there's this whole new group of people that got into gaming that thought that Microsoft was like the system. And you know, it's a fine system. It had a lot of good games on it. But people that are just so toxic with the one thing they like and don't like anybody else liking other things is just...
Yeah, so kind of what David was saying, but more, maybe a little more cliquish as opposed to elitist.
Yeah, it really bugs me. There's other stuff with peeves, like a lot of people complain about GameStop and opening up the one last copy of their game.
I hate that.
And I think, just don't buy that copy.
Devin.
You know,
I won't buy that.
I am your pet peeve.
The parent with the kid that's just gonna buy it and play it and return it, let them buy that copy. You know, that's fine.
Yeah, that parent wants their Mario game.
Yeah. Or the woman that came in and she was asking for, it was right back with what he was saying, Mario for the DS4.
Yeah, DS4.
Then she meant she was mixing 3DS and PS4 together.
I would say mine are I would say actually the people who complain about GameStop generally. I mean, I have my complaints against GameStop, but I'm talking about those people that are just like, they find it's like a job to them to complain about GameStop. You know, it's like their paycheck is dependent upon them complaining about GameStop. I don't like Devin's little pet peeve there about opening the last copy. I don't like that. But like you said, William, just don't buy it. I don't like that. I don't like what they did with Xenoblade Chronicles a couple years back. That I didn't like that at all. If you don't know what it is, the rumor basically...
I've got a picture somewhere of like almost 20 copies of it just sitting there used.
Yeah, and that was the rumor basically was GameStop, they produced Xenoblade Chronicles. It became very sought after, so they just did a reprint, opened everyone up, and sold them as used. I do believe that was absolutely wrong. However, other than that, I can't really see anything too much to fault GameStop with, especially when it comes to the major gripes. And man, GameStop is an awesome store.
But they did have games reprinted to be sold in the store as used for a reasonable price. The Fatal Frame games, they did that.
That's true. And I'm just a big fan of GameStop, or at least I've become more of a fan of GameStop as more people started just doing that, and it wasn't because I'm just trying to be like, oh, I'm so cool that I like stuff that other people don't. No, it's just like I just found it unfair. And that also bleeds into my next pet peeve, unrealistic expectations. Like everybody crying about no Nintendo Direct in January. I want a Nintendo Direct, don't get me wrong, but it's like Nintendo doesn't owe us a Nintendo Direct. They just don't. I'm sorry. They don't owe us one. They don't owe us one in February. They don't even owe us one at E3. If they give us one, yay. I will have fun. I will stream it. I will enjoy it. I will do a video on why I'm so excited about Luigi's Mansion 3, but they don't own it. And I want to, so there's, and this kind of also goes into a topic that I just kind of came up with. So Fortnite is Fortnite, right? And then didn't EA just release Apex or something?
Mm-hmm.
And Apex is kind of like Fortnite, but without the whatever, the building aspects. Or it's basically everything that people complain about Fortnite that they don't like about Fortnite. And I'm not saying anything about Fortnite one way or another. I think it's a good game that I just don't like to play. But Apex is like the opposite. Now here's something though.
So it's PUBG.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, this one's taking off, and I'm not big into what are these? What kind of games are these? Battle royales. It's probably because I'm not that good at them. But here we got a game company, EA. Everybody hates EA, right? Everyone hates EA. Then we have microtransactions in a game that a lot of people hate, and then we have Fortnite style game that has kind of been an oversaturated market that has been dominated by Fortnite. And so you got all these gamers being elitist saying, oh, it's just a bunch of kids playing Fortnite now, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then EA makes a killing off it. Apex is huge. It takes over Twitch. It's 10 million players. All of these things came about. So how, with everything set up against it, does it make such a success overnight? And that's because EA didn't give us a year's worth of announcements. If it had been on the internet for a year, people would have had unrealistic expectations, and they would have trashed that game for 1 year, and it would have been dead on arrival. And I wonder if Nintendo's starting to do that.
Because honestly, I feel like I didn't hear about Fortnite until after it was already out.
Yeah,
I kind of feel that way too. Yeah,
exactly, and that's what that's what EA just did. EA should not have that popular of a game because of their reputation, and yet they did it. They kind of snuck it under the radar, and because they didn't allow the internet to just trash it for a year, it's huge. And I'm wondering if Nintendo's going to stop giving us news because people just want to trash on them.
I just want to celebrate Apex real quick though, because it is. I know this is Nintendo centric, but
I brought it up.
Frank Zampella is him and the other guy. They pretty much made Modern Warfare what it was. Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2. Then they had a disagreement with Activision after Modern Warfare 2, and he went on to do Respawn Entertainment, which does the Titanfall series. And so the people working on Apex is the original team from the Modern Warfare days. So if you guys like first-person shooters and Modern Warfare, go out and download Apex. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it.
Tell me about Apex. What is it? Because I've seen it from a perspective of, wow, that's amazing. I'm seeing it from a marketing standpoint and how they did it. So tell me about the gameplay. What is it?
Well, I guess we could quickly mention that streamers have physically gotten bored of Fortnite. You can tell that they've gotten bored of Fortnite and Blackout. So they're itching for new things to play. I think the top streamer right now is at Summit. He was playing Sea of Thieves the other day, and it blew up. Sea of Thieves was more relevant than it was on its arrival, which is, I think it's a good thing for Rare. But anyway, Apex it's like a perfect haven for streamers. Like they're all playing it. People say it's like a smorgasbord of Overwatch, Modern Warfare, and PUBG, all mixed into one, but in all the right places and hits all the right strides. So pretty much it's just your battle royale first person shooter that's loot based, and it's not pay to win. So it's they're all like skins for guns, skins for your characters. Your characters have supers, and it's got kind of like a comedic tone that you would see in like Borderlands. So,
and where?
Now I gotta look it up real quick.
Borderlands.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about it. Nick or Christian, I'm seeing all your comments. He's saying that we should become a team and battle some people out, or like a unit. That would be fun. I don't know. It's hard to get us. I think like right now Saturdays, this is like the only time that the four of us can come together. I'm saying four as in the people who are on a regular basis.
If you were ever going to think about it, maybe once a month, maybe we could get, instead of the podcast, we have the live stream of us playing a game, and then we go to the podcast again another week.
That's true. Or who knows, maybe just add an hour. I don't know. Well, that's something to think about, something to consider. Thank you, Christian, for the feedback. I love you guys giving us the feedback and asking the questions, because I wouldn't have asked that pet peeve thing, and that was able to bleed into a bunch of conversations. So thank you guys. And Paradox, I did see your suggestions for the Friday night fights I'm having on Friday night. I have to name it exactly the day so I remember. Like, oh, I can remember Friday night fights. Let's give. Hey, William, did you find Mark's YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor and post the link in the comments section?
Yeah, hold on.
Mark, again, everybody, this is Mark right there. Look, hi, Mark. I'm just introducing, because, some people come to these at various times. Mark does a lot of, he rattled off the things that his channel was about, and if we let him do that again, it would ride us right to 12 o'clock or right to 1 o'clock. So his channel is he's very interested in a lot of stuff. He got me kind of interested in finally pulling the trigger and watching Dragon Ball Z. And if you guys want to give him a looky, see, William is going to post the
right there in the chat.
Right there in the chat. That's Mark's channel. He is family friendly, he said to me. I can't fully verify it because I only watched like 2 of his videos, but you guys can be the judge of that. So we have about 18 minutes left. What do you guys?
I got one quick thing to bring up. That's Funko.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they announced their next Pokemon Funko Pop, which is Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I know. I'm very excited. My heart is excited, but my brain, my wallet, everything is just like in mourning.
I'm just happy that it's, number one, it's not an exclusive, it's everywhere. So I don't have to go to Target at 7 o'clock in the morning, William.
I've already pre-ordered it. Oh yeah, I didn't get my Pikachu until like last month.
But I don't have to go to Target at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I don't want to see William at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It seems to be everywhere, and it should be hopefully in wide array so everybody can get one that wants one.
Yeah, but just to piggyback off that, Amazon was having it pre-ordered last night, and GameStop. If you walk into GameStop, you can pre-order it there. So go on.
I refuse to get it from Amazon, especially if they're going to send it in a bubble mailer like they always do.
Right?
I ordered mine from Entertainment Earth.
But
they do
anyway,
a good job shipping stuff.
The Funko executives are, I forget what they are to Funko, but they're pretty high up there. The guy's name is Cameron, and I forget the other person's name. They always do the live videos for when they release stuff. They said that there's 3 more Pokemon coming, confirmed at this point.
Which I think I pretty much nailed what they could be.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Eevee because Pikachu and Eevee are big right now. And then I think it's good because we already have Bulbasaur and Pikachu. It's definitely going to be what you said of Squirtle and Charmander. I can almost guarantee it.
Which, speaking of Charmander, right back there. My little plush of Charmander.
Speaking of Eevee, I guess for the last panel question we can go through, I don't know how big you guys are into Pokemon. I think Devin is the least Pokemon fan in here, but just kidding.
You can't see them from here, but there's a big pile of evolutions back there.
Well, that's my question is, for this new Pokemon game in 2019, do you think there will be an evolution? And if so, what attribute or element do you think it will be?
Yes,
there
because there's the Tamagotchi Eevee edition, which has a new evolution in it.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
I don't think anyone's unlocked it, but I think that evolution could end up in the next game.
So going through the panel, what do you guys think for that answer?
Well, shoot, man, it's like there's just so many right now. Can you list off? There's Flareon, there's
Glaceon, Leafeon, Sylveon. You've got obviously the
O,
Umbreon, Espeon, Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon.
Isn't there one with a U? It's like white and half.
Umbreon.
Okay. So there's just so many of those dang EVs. It's like
I never understand the classifications because when you go to the video game as opposed to the card game, there's always different stuff. I would like a ghost one, but some people would probably say Umbreon or not. Umbreon is already that.
I want there to be a ghost one as well. I think Umbreon would be a dark type.
I think he is dark type, but that's the thing. I have some people that'll argue with me because they play both the video games and the card games. I love the card games, so
if it became a ghost type, would it have to die? Like, serious? That's a serious question, even though it might sound funny.
I could see having your Eevee faint so many times would make it evolve into a ghost type.
How do ghost types happen in the world of Pokemon? Because I am a Pokemon fan, but I'm just
there.
Okay, so yeah, would it have to die?
Ken.
although there is the there is the bug type that has 2 evolutions, and one of the evolutions is the shell after it's evolved becomes its own Pokemon.
There are some like references to death. For one, there is like a graveyard and stuff in even Let's Go, and what's his name? Bone, the bone guy, the one that holds the bone.
Marowak.
Cubone.
Cubone. He puts the skull of his dead mom on his face.
Yeah, Pokemon descriptions are actually really, really dark. Like Drifloon. Everybody know who's Drifloon is.
Oh yeah.
Right on the card, it's that balloon Pokemon. Right on the card, it's something to the effect that if children grab onto it, it will float away into the sky and never come back.
What?
I'm not kidding. And Spoink, if Spoink stops bouncing, it'll die.
And Charmander will die if its tail goes out.
I knew that. They actually did that in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So, Mark, what do you think as far as the evolution? What do you think we'll see?
Man, I really don't have too much confidence in that, man. I was a fan of Pokemon back when I was younger, but there's like newer stuff that guys talk kind of over my head. Like Pokemon Yellow when I was a kid.
Yeah, whose dog is that barking?
They're mine. They're mine. Sorry,
they heard about Eevee and they're like they just want it because it's
sorry, my feet just hurt. My dog's barking.
Yeah, I guess I'll say mine and then I'll ask the chat. But I'd like to see a dragon type Eevee.
Hey,
or maybe
someone just said that. Dan Caro said that. He said Ghost Stealer Dragon type.
Yeah, dragon type or maybe even a bug type. I think a bug version of Eevee would be really, really cool. But
how could they be? How could it become a dragon though? I mean,
you notice that Ken sometimes just periodically asks us about the lore of games, and I love it, man. He's so intrigued, man. Remember when we talked about Kirby for an hour and how Kirby's like the strongest being in the universe? So
he did survive the world of light.
And then he's like, how could there be a ghost type Eevee? Does it have to like die first? So morbid, man.
These are legit questions, I think.
You're asking the real questions here, man.
The podcast, we get down to business here. But I'm just like, I mean, seriously, like dragons are dragons. They're a different species. How does it just become like suddenly I'm a dragon?
Well, it ties into Game of Thrones, and then there's this whole thing, the time skip. It's like a time skip.
I want to see a time skip in
Okay,
Pokemon.
I could see it happening because, for God's sake, the classification for Charizard isn't a dragon, but Dragonite is. You know what I'm saying? It's weird in Pokemon.
Well, he's a lizard that just happens to look like a dragon.
Well, in Japan, he's called Lizardon, which has the word lizard in it. So it's kind of funny.
Who,
True.
Dragonite or Charizard?
Charizard's Japanese name is Lizardon.
Yeah,
I just think of the Honest trailers when they're naming every single one of them. They're renaming every single one of them, and they get the Dragonite, and they call him Chowazawad.
I remember that
video. Because he looks like a chubby Charizard.
I love that video.
I don't think I've seen it, actually.
I actually have...
I'll link it to you, Ken.
I have that. Mark, did you say something? I didn't hear you, man.
That was how it go.
Nick Clanton saying his wife Tammy does. She's an English major, and evolution is like triggering her because the word is not like evolution, evolution. I don't think I've ever heard evolution before, but I could totally see it being a thing. I knew what you were talking about.
I have that. That I guess it's considered rare, but during the promo for Pokemon 2000, the movie. There was a booster set that was sold, and there was one that calls Meryl, the Pokemon Meryl, calls him Peekaboo.
Yeah, because that was the name that people decided to give it before they even knew what it was.
Right, the marketing team, and I have that card. It's in my closet right now. So.
I'll be right back, guys.
It's a grammatic.
I still have the Ancient Mew card too.
I have mine somewhere.
I found my Entei card at the hot dog stand in the movie theater because I really was hungry. I went to the restroom. I was a kid. I was like, I need to go to the restroom. And then I had my dad's card with me, so I bought a hot dog. It's just the mind of a kid, man. So I was like, I went and bought a hot dog. And it's crazy how everything happened in 5 minutes. I'm buying my hot dog. I'm putting mustard on it, and I look up, and there's a promo for Paper Mario 2, when it was called Paper Mario 2. And then I look down near the pickle relish, and there's a sealed Entei card. like the promo card that they have for the movie, Entei. And it was sealed. And it was mine. Finders keepers. So
yeah, exactly. I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Good times, man. I miss being a kid.
I do too.
Funny thing is, Pokemon came out after I turned 18. So I wasn't a kid playing Pokemon. I've never been a kid playing Pokemon.
That was over 20 years. William, you don't look your age, dude.
No, I don't. When I go out to Vegas at the end of the month is to celebrate my 40th birthday.
Wow.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
dude.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday. Put it all on red.
Yeah, it'll be March
8th. Okay, so I'm still just trying to think of the ghost Eevee. We got about
okay. You didn't tell us what kind of evolution you'd want.
Okay, what kind of evolution? I want
and you got to give us a little backstory too of what this
Okay, is this going to turn into another Valentino situation?
I don't think so. I want I can, like, how does it become a bug one also too? Because that would be jumping not just species, but like, I guess species. It would be jumping just species. What about like, isn't Polygon or Poliwhirl like a digital Pokemon? Can we get a digital Eevee maybe?
Porygon. Yeah, and he's actually a normal type.
Oh, I thought he was like digital somehow or somewhere.
But in the show, he was created digitally, yes, but in the card game and in the video game, he's a normal type. Yeah.
Oh well, if he's been created digitally, then I guess we can't have a digital Eevee unless it's like not really an evolution of Eevee, but somebody liked Eevee so much they tried to create an evolution, and so they create a digital Eevee, right? But it's not really an evolution of Eevee, and then those Eevees could like hate each other because it's like it says it is, but it isn't because it was created but in a digital form. I don't know.
What if it already was an Eevee, and it was a really bad polygonal sprite of him?
Or what if what if we got like a cyborg Eevee? Like it somehow
cool.
That'd be a steel type.
The funny thing is, I can actually see this happening because we got Mimikyu. I mean, he's the little ghost. I think he's Ghost that wants to be Pikachu so bad.
Mimikyu, yep.
Or what if we got like an Eevee that was like Ditto, but it still looked like Eevee, so it could like kind of mimic other Pokemon, and it would take their like, you know, it would like if it was to try to be Charizard, you know, it could switch. It would still have like the body of Eevee, but it would have wings now, and then like kind of maybe more of a like, you know, the face, but it would still, you could tell it was still Eevee, and then later on it could be Pikachu, and it would, you know, its tail would turn into a lightning bolt, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like a Ditto Mimikyu type Pokemon, but it still like stays Eevee. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a flying type would probably be more likely.
Oh yeah, we don't have any flying type Eevee, so yeah, let's get a flying type in.
And with the first thing that came to mind was the flying character from the Lunar games.
Yeah.
You've ever seen those? Yeah. I'm blanking on the character's name.
I
don't remember the name either.
Yeah.
Wings. That's all I'm going to assume. Do we have a Psychic Eevee? We have a Psychic Eevee.
Yeah, Espeon.
Espeon. Oh, yeah. Espeon. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. So if you could get one franchise pulled out of obscurity for the supposed Nintendo Direct happening, what would it be? Mark.
Ooh.
Pulled out of obscurity, so no Mario Maker 2. You gotta.
Because I can't say Metroid because they're actually making that.
Yeah, I can't do that one. While he thinks, anybody can jump in.
I have my go-to. I'm still saying Star Tropics.
Star Tropics. Okay.
I mean, when it comes to Nintendo, I hate counting Star Fox Zero as an official title because it was nothing that any of us wanted. I mean, well, it was that I personally wanted.
Uh-huh.
I would love to see like a true remake of Star Fox 64 or even Star Fox Adventures.
Adventures, yes.
Okay, so I'll count Adventures because that's totally different than Star Fox. I think with the Wii U version, even though you didn't want it, it is. I would say that's not. It was too recent. Plus, almost Starlink kind of gave us a Star Fox game without. Now, what else? I have a few of my Mew Toys R Us promo Mew cards. They actually say Toys R Us on them. I'm willing to sell if someone is still collecting. That's from Nick Clayton. Anyone? All right, David, what's your obscure? We have Star Fox Adventure, Star Tropics. What would be your?
I thought of another one, but I will have Reagan goes through.
I'd like to see Wave Race come back, but not
Wave Race. That's interesting.
Well, you do racing, but you also kind of do like patrolling of the beach, like Baywatch style.
Oh yes, slow motion running too.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's kind of like Baywatch gone wrong. So there's kind of like some like gang related stuff, like Yakuza gets involved.
That would be cool.
And so you've got like these beach patrol guys that they race, but at the same time they protect the beach with their situations with like a mob or a gang.
The sequel could be Wave Race when sharks attack.
That'd be great. I like that.
Wave Race, that is interesting. That would definitely not be on the radar, and it would be a game that's been gone so long, even though it probably wouldn't be that special, but like because it's been gone so long and we all remember Wave Race 64, it would be a huge get. Devin, what's yours?
Bubsy, come at me.
No. Is that Nintendo though?
Oh yeah, he was on the Super Nintendo.
But is he a Nintendo IP?
True, I guess.
Gotta go with Nintendo IP.
Okay, I would have to take a minute. William, talk.
I've got one for you.
Okay.
For the frog, the bell tolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Japanese exclusive Game Boy game.
Tell me more.
It kind of had comparisons to Link's Awakening.
Really?
The Japanese name is it's pretty long. Kaido no Tame ni Kane wa Naru.
Totally. That's that one.
There were a lot of spirits for it in Ultimate. and his assist trophy is in it too.
Oh, interesting.
It's Prince Sable, and he's got the little frog and the.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, the assist trophy, not the game.
Man, William, you hit the nail on that, man.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, or of the one I can't remember the name of it, where the samurai's from.
You know what would happen if that did happen? People would be like, "What?" The Americans would be like, "What? This is the worst direct ever. You just announced that game," because it's not, whatever.
Well,
do you have yours?
Yeah. Wario Land Shake It.
Ooh, Wario Land Shake It.
Ooh.
I love that game, but the Wario Land games in general, I think that he is due for another one.
Yeah, that's almost within obscurity and out. It's almost not, but it still is, because it's been the Wii, and that was the last one he's had, because everything else is Game and Wario since then, or his whatever. Yeah. But his titles seem to have died off, really.
I always like the ones on the Game Boy and stuff like that, and Shake It was really cool too on the Wii. So.
Really fun.
All right. Looks like we're hitting our time limit, so I do have to end it. I'll say my game that I would pick out of security is Advanced Wars. I love Advanced Wars. And Nick said he thought you sneezed when you named that title, David. Everyone, I just want to give one last shout out to Mark here. Thank you for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. You added a lot to the conversation. It's always nice to have new blood into the mix. And again, what's your YouTube channel's name?
MarkJack79. Like I said, I do travel, talk about Nintendo, anime, specifically Dragon Ball Z, Zelda, the PlayStation, more specifically Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, God of War. We talk about the Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, pretty much everything geek related that I am generally interested in.
So there you go, guys. I know I don't talk a lot about PlayStation. So if you want a PlayStation fix, or even some of that other stuff he was talking about, maybe head over there. Plus, it's always nice to support a fellow Nintendo geek. And I haven't viewed a lot of his videos, but I have seen a lot of his posts. We travel a lot of the same Facebook groups, and I know this guy knows his stuff from what I've seen through his Facebook posts. So yeah, I want to get us out of here on time. Respect you guys for watching your schedules. I thank you guys so much for joining us every Saturday. And don't forget, I have my podcast. And if you see, I might troll the internet on the 13th with a fake Nintendo Direct, so nobody get mad at me. I'm warning you guys right now. I'm going to do another parody if we don't have a real one coming out. Guys, it's dangerous to go alone. Please share this video, this channel with a friend, and have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to check out Mark Jack 76. 79. Mark Jack 79. That's 79, the numbers, not the words. Guys, have a great day.